Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news.
And welcome back to another edition of Issues in Education. Monday starting the new report. We spotlight the issues impacting our public schooling families with the one and only Dr. Ralph Kerr at the Teaching and Learning Institute. You're still in beautiful Hope, New York, right, sir?
I am, and it is a beautiful day today, that's for sure.
It's always very pretty there in Allegheny County, New York, and there's much to discuss. Ralph, we're going to try to get this in 5 minutes, but let's just start. Schools are got that reopen plan. Some are doing the hybrid, some are doing the in-person, and some are doing online. But what happens if there is a positive case? What do we do then? That seems to be the big question that schools are dealing with right now. What is your prediction as to where schools go from that point?
Well, I think, first of all, I think schools should be opening in person. The idea that, it's going to be better in 2 months or 3 months, I don't think anybody knows that. And so I'm certainly supportive of having the students go back to school for a variety of reasons that we talked about before. And I think there will be cases. I think it would be foolish to not think there wouldn't be, but schools have included in their plans what they're going to do with that. They will obviously, there's a detailed plan in every school district. They'll isolate the students or the faculty members or staff and make sure that they get in a situation where they're quarantined. And then, I think most of them have a plan that if the positivity rate goes up over like 5% or something like that, then they may have to close for a week or two. But I think they were prepared for that as long as people wear their masks, do social distancing. I did see a situation in Georgia where things are getting out of control, but I saw pictures in high school where nobody had on a mask. The students were just walking through the hallway like they would in normal times. Yeah. That won't work.
So a single case of the COVID is not going to shut down the school?
Absolutely not. A single case of flu or mumps or the measles, that doesn't shut it down. Those are all contagious diseases as well.
So Dr. Anthony Fauci, who seems to be the point man on the pandemic, suggested that schools that do reopen, his advice is stay outside as much as possible. If you can have classes outside, great. Keep the windows open, doors open. Your thoughts on that?
I think those are great suggestions, particularly at this time of year when the weather is really nice. There are lots of aspects of a class that can be done outside, and the more fresh air everybody has, the better it's going to be.
So this week, a big decision from the PIAA, the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association, will make a determination as to whether or not there's going to be any fall sports in Pennsylvania, high school sports. Governor Wolf, if he had his druthers, there'd be no sports at all until next year. The governor last week doubling down on that, saying, hey, it's just my recommendation. It's up to the PIAA to make this call, adding that academics trumps athletics in this situation. What do you expect the PIAA to decide this week, Ralph? And if you were advising them, what would you say?
Well, I would agree with the governor on one part of that, and that is that academics are most important. And in some ways, I wish people would be more concerned about getting back to school to do the academics than about sports. But having said that, I think if you're back for academics and you're doing all right, then I think sports are so important to so many young people that I think particularly if you roll back the start date a little bit, as some states have done, then get the students together, their athletes, and let them begin practice and play.
All right, and of course, this is all happening, the start of school in this pandemic, with new leadership at the top of both states. Pennsylvania's education secretary is stepping down, and New York State has a new education commissioner. So you've got new leadership in both those important positions at the same time the districts are trying to deal with it. So a lot of things are in flux right now, Ralph, aren't they?
Well, they really are. The commissioner in Pennsylvania, who was the superintendent in Lancaster, and he's had an opportunity to go back to a college there. I understand that, but it is, in one sense, maybe going from the frying pan into the fire when you take on the responsibilities of a college. And in New York State, I'm really concerned about the chancellor resigning in order to become the interim commissioner. It's going to be really difficult transitioning into the administrative role. Yeah. It's going to be a challenge, that's for sure.
Like you said, out of the frying pan into the fire. And it is a hot topic for sure. Ralph, so many issues, so little time. If folks have questions about the good work going on at TLI, where can they find you?
They can simply go to yrun.org, yrun.org.